I'll be reading for Sagittarius. These readings are how the energy of Sagittarius is manifesting within your placement. If you look into your birth chart, find the house where you have Sagittarius. This is not specifically for Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is whatever house you have Sagittarius. Please do reference that house. I will put that in the description below for a very, very, very brief explanation of the houses. And there are places, if you do not have your birth chart, that you can go. Astro Cafe may be one of them. You can go for free and find out where you have Sagittarius in your house. Not all messages will be for you. You may find that the last message or the third message, whichever message that comes through that intuitively hits with you, is your message. You may also find that there does not seem to be a message in this, even if you're a Sagittarius. So you may want to look at other placements. If you're looking for career, please check that house, and you may find something there where your most pressing question is. See what your placement is and check with that sign. You may be able to find more information there. You will notice as I do these readings, what I do is I do quick channeling of cards. The fastest way for me to channel that message is vocally through my guides. I do have a past life self that will come through occasionally. She does have a bit of an accent that she works with through my voice. Other times I will share what I see, hear, and intuitively sense. And with that, all of the timestamps for each of these will be below, and so you can check through there. I will show you the card before I begin speaking, and with that, let us begin for Sagittarius. Highest and most important messages that our Sagittarians need. The Boot. Increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goals. Energy multiplies when it is focused. If you are scattering or interrupting yourself, you are depleting that energy. Whatever goal or situation it is you're trying to make through, note the areas where you interrupt you. I'm not speaking about other people interrupting you. There is an area where we all need to set firm boundaries against that, but then there are also boundaries within our own minds. An intrusive thought that keeps appearing, an intrusive worry that keeps coming up. Address that. It subtracts the energy. End of message. Next message for Sagittarius. Tortoise. Slowly but surely getting ahead. For many of you, this is a continuation of the boot. It's taking a long time because of your own internal distractions. Others of you, though, there are too many different distractions externally. There is also a sense that the pace is as fast. Hold on, let me pull this in. Okay, I'm going to translate here. I feel this does echo back to the last message. Some of you do feel like I will translate the message here instead of channel. Okay, it feels as if some of you may feel like things are going slow, but they couldn't possibly go any faster. Check your phone is what I just heard. Go on, there's usually an app a lot of people have on their phone that tells you how much time you're spending on different things. You can find through that app, it's not even an app, it's part of your phone, like it kind of tells you spent, yeah, like a personal experience. I spent 9 hours last week playing Bejeweled Blitz, okay? So I'm not going to lecture yet because most of these messages I kind of listen to for myself too. But you know, like, wow, that is 9 hours I could have spent last week working on something that I thought was just going to take a long time to get done. Where actually I had 9 hours I could have spent on that. Okay, that's just a example from my own life. Place that kind of like where you want. But the gist of the matter is, you guys, you know, you can get something done faster if you notice where you're wasting time. All right, okay. We'll move on to the next message with that. I feel like we need to take from the other stack here because there's a repetition in that message. So for some of you, this may be a pattern of behavior that you've had repeatedly over time. So check with that if it resonates. Okay. All right. Sagittarius, in the house that Sagittarius falls, most significant message. Fox. Shrewdness and resourcefulness, especially in business. There are many tricks we can all play. Many tricks that people play against us. But shrewdness is not a trick. Clever is not the same as deceptive. There's important distinctions between them. Stubborn can also be considered persistent. A quality of, okay, translating now. What I'm sensing is there's a firmness that some of you need to have in the situation, and it may feel to you as though it's a negative trait, but there is a careful balance. In that example of, I'm a Taurus, this is one that I will again just translate from what I know in my own reality. When I'm being stubborn, people are saying it negatively. When I'm being persistent, what is the other word for that? There's another word. You know, persistent means I accomplished something good. Stubborn means I kept trying to do something that wasn't for my benefit. I don't know if I'm explaining that as well as I can, but there are certain traits that when applied towards a positive goal and used in a beneficial way, in a kind way, you know, this isn't being mean to people. But standing up for yourself sometimes means you have to take authority. So there's a certain authority, I think, is the word that needs to be taken here for the situation. And there may be a hesitance to that as to feeling like that's overbearing. No, don't go overbearing, but be authoritative about your own rights, your own needs, your own accolades. I don't know why that word came through. So that's important for some of you in a situation there. We'll move on to the next message. Okay, we'll do one more tea leaf, I believe. Is there one more in here? I'm being told, is there one more in here? Pin. New job, career. Do not rest on your laurels. There is more you can do, higher positions. For some, that means taking classes, getting the diploma, but not diploma, what certificates. Certificates. build skill. Okay, what I'm getting with this one is for those of you who, and career-wise, may be looking for a better position, a better job or something, you may need to add in some skills, you know, experience or whatever. That could be taking just a lot of community colleges in the United States will have just maybe a one time 3 nights you go and then you get a little certificate or something. Sometimes these are online, but there are little things for those of you in spiritual work. Now may be the time, if you, I'll just use a bunch of different examples. You may need to add Reiki to your practice at this point. There's, yeah, I'm definitely feeling that it's hitting sharply on those of you who do spiritual work, whether it's, you know, shamanism, whether it's learning crystals. There's another area within that it is time for you to become, I'm hearing, the master of. And I don't like using the term master because we're all students no matter how much we know. But yes, it is time to begin that. And I just heard that some of you are questioning if now is the right time to begin something. Obviously use your discernment, but if you're wondering and it's been nagging at you, should I, you know, at least go and research doing it and see, you know, if it's something that costs money, watch your budgets at this time. But for those of you who have been contemplating it and wondering it, if not to say go do it, this is definitely to say you need to explore it. Pros and cons, can you afford it? How can you make time for it? Get it in motion, okay? We will move on. I pulled the past life oracle and just a variant of the Rider-Waite-Smith deck to get to. And I'm pulling the past life oracle first. I will say sometimes I do have difficulty connecting with this deck, so we will see if I can pull through whatever messages are meant for you on this. Bear with me if I falter a little and get stumped through a card. The way it works is the cards are there, but every now and then my visual sight of the card can sometimes interfere with the channel coming through. So we will get through, and we are asking for what Sagittarius in their house placement needs to know most. These two cards feel like they need to come together. Okay, I will hold them for you. We have both angel and baby. Again, as I said, I have difficulty channeling through on these cards. I will hold them here for those of you, and I do feel some of you need to see them this way. All I'm hearing is you are the child of angels. They have watched you from birth, and they will watch you all the way until you return to them. That is all I have for you. This is one of those ones you will often need to read in and just get your own hits for instinctively what it means for you. I did warn you guys, this deck and me, I have a hard time, but this is what was called to do. Okay, for Sagittarius, please, what they need most to know now. Celtic. This is not of the ancestry, but of the intricacies. Look at the Celtic work. The patterns, the designs. Things are interlaced, woven. They are not dispersed. I don't know what word is trying to come through there. Detached, we will say. Let me pull the channel back in. It cannot be accomplished without all of the elements balanced in play. Magician needs all the tools. Even if one is more necessary than the other, they are all needed. It is always good to have a backup on hand. Know where everything is, and you will know where you are, and you will know what to do with everything. Okay, that seemed strangely cryptic. I'm horrible. I comment on these things. And then every now and then I will get my ego into the picture and I'll pull a card that has something to say to me. This needs to come out. And Asia. This is actually what I was just saying. Every now and then a card will come out to correct me. And this is it. They know that whenever I pull this card, I have never figured out anything in a message. So that was me just getting yelled at and corrected by my guides. So I am imperfect. I totally am. I expect none of us to have perfection in any of our spirituality. None of us could live up to any standard of any faith that, you know, is there. So, trees. Even in the darkest forest, there is always a ray, some bit of light. You have to look up to see it. With your head down and your mind full of worries, all you can see are the dead leaves on the ground, the decay. Look up to where the light comes. The leaves feed from the sun, and so do we. End of message. All right, now to spare us all from any more oracle agony here, I will move on to another deck. We shall move on to the tarot. Okay. I warned you about that deck. And me. All right, moving on to traditional Rider-Waite. Okay, just a little card the guides gave me to say that this will be a little easier to work with. All right, we have the shuffle. What does Sagittarius need to know for their highest good? Bickering. What are you building? Communication. Is this even the house you want to build? There are multiple teams trying to accomplish the same goal, but the teams need to work together. I'm asking my God, can we get a little bit more something? Look at the bottom of the deck. It says, okay, the Magician. Okay, there's the rest of the message. It needs to be reminded that a little bit of this we talked about earlier. You need all of the tools like the magician does. And in this case, it is different people have different skills. And it's like, well, you don't need to be in the group because we don't need that. It's like, yeah, you do. Everybody needs to, no matter, you know, whether or not their particular thing that they're bringing is going to be 90% of the project or 5% of the project. You lose that person who's only got 5% of what the project needs so that you can get this all done together. and you can't get it done. So you need, and some of you are feeling like, why do they all think I'm the 5% and it doesn't have a voice? So this is either acknowledging a situation where you're just not being acknowledged, basically, for what you have to offer, and that people are minimizing your contribution. Or it's a simple fact that you may have to work with the group that you're in if there is a problem with everybody understanding everyone needs to work together and has something to give. You may need to lead in getting that group all on the same page. Okay. Is there anything else? Anything else? I have the rest card, which means that is the end of this message. I hope there was something in there for you, Sagittarius. Like I said, these are for where you have Sagittarius in your chart, in your birth chart. And we all have every sign in our birth chart. So do find what house it is in, and that should be the area of life that it is. If you are a Sag sun, then, you know, you can look at the house on that too, but this could also be just general for you. Primarily, though, it will be house oriented. All right, and then you can just, you know, check the other placements for your house, for the signs, and you know, go ahead and feel guided if you are to check out the other readings for other signs.